a sustainable development. So this thing is being threatened. Now, for conclusion, I want to suggest here that I want to use the example of the Pacific Trade Organization, the Trade and Development Conference of that study of 1992. These countries of, they call them tiger economies. These countries came together and planned for a collaboration and sustainable development of their economies. What they did was to identify, that is, they carried out, individual countries carried out a SWOT analysis of the working relationship, a SWOT analysis to identify their the basis of their collaboration for sustainable development. It is a worldwide recognition that just after this conference, the tiger economies shot to the forefront in the world economy in terms of growth, and economic emancipation. And so I urge us that Africa and other countries stand to benefit maximally from this project if they carry out a detailed SWOT analysis to identify potential areas of conflict of interest occasioned by individual governments, changes in policies, socio-political, economic, religious, and cultural factors. Thank you for listening, and God bless us. I now call on.
Thank you. That's Dr. Osaka. Hi, Dr. Osaka, David Osaka. I want to thank you for that presentation. Yeah. You have told us the importance of collaboration, the need for us to come together as a body, and the benefit of collaboration. This cited examples, instances where people came together for a global interest. So, Dr. Sapa, we want to thank you and appreciate you for this presentation. And he also emphasized the results of collaboration. So, he has said it that it is very, very necessary for us to come together, work together to support and development. Hopefully to the floor and if possible.
Mr. Sunday, there is a difficulty from the delegates on the platform in hearing what you are saying. It might be the device that you are using. I'm not sure whether any movement or shiftings might assist. Kindly try again, because the two presenters were very audible and clear, but on the platform, I'm reading a message that the participants are not hearing you clearly, but also it has also been a situation on my side. So may you try again. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Sunday. may we, I believe that um, you are able to hear Mr. Sunday on the platform. May we then continue, if it is permissible, with the program, um, since we could not hear the inputs that you were giving, or part of them were audible, um, and being able to firstly appreciate, acknowledge and appreciate the value laden, very informative, thought-provoking, direction-giving presentations that we have received this morning. Um, the first presentation came from, and if I'm not titling you appropriately, my sincere apology, because I'm not seeing your titles in the program. But we had Mr. Oyeni Ola presenting for us with the first presentation. And now the presentation that we have just had. May I ask others to mute so that then that we are able to hear one another like we did before. Thank you so much. And the last presentation that we have received is from Mr. David Osakpa. And the presentations are definitely flowing into what has been presented from the first day, and even cementing some of the contributions in presentations that we have received starting from first day, equally even enhancing what we need to be looking at in a more concrete and a practical way. If we may recall, for those who were on the platform on Tuesday, whilst we did not really go deeply into the issues of collaboration, uh, because it had come through the whole interaction throughout the first 2 days of the program, there was actually a need for us to look at collaboration, and we're so thankful and grateful, and that David Osakpa, that you have very poignantly, even succinctly and specifically outlined what collaboration would mean, be it inter-country, within different countries, be it continental, be it even international, or let me call it globally for all of us. So I would like us to have an opportunity that is presented to the delegates, to everyone on the platform, and those that are on the YouTube platform, if at all, are able to fill in any inputs, that we interact with these two presentations, and you would indicate which presentation are we focusing on at a time, when you either ask questions or you give inputs during these deliberations. And in the process, may I check again, Mr. Sunday, if at all we are able to give back to you? And if not, kindly allow that we continue, anchoring each other so that we can be able to continue with the program. Mr. Sunday, are you in a better state now technically?
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Mabue. Um, Thank you for that elaboration. We are still waiting for. We are still waiting for Dr. Ambrose. He is the next presenter, but we can still call another
another presenter in our agenda. Which is, I'm trying to get in touch with Red Cross, Nigerian Red Cross Society, because they are also have a paper to present today. Wait. Okay, I think let's go over to Red Cross. Somebody has to, Miss Queen. You can check the one you want to. Let's take. Please permit us to go to the next one while waiting for Dr. Ambrose. It's not, he has not, he's still trying to put his things in order.
Thank you, Mr. Sunday. May we check whether we have a representative from Red Cross on the platform, and we'll encourage them to, in the same way, introduce themselves and their organization briefly and continue with the presentation. Are we having anyone from Red Cross? You may kindly continue with the presentation.
Okay, let me.
And in the meantime, I'm just going to appreciate that everyone is muting. And even for us, if there's anything that we have to attend to in the background, may we also kindly mute. Mr. Sunday, anyone from Red Cross that you are able to identify on the platform?
They are not yet available, Red Cross. So I think they are not yet available.
Thank you then, Mr. Sunday.
We have here. Hello.
Hello, thank you, Mr. Sunday. I was going to recommend that at this point, because we have had 2 presentations, and whilst the other presenters are not available, we could use this opportunity to have inputs or any contributions from the presenters, sorry, from the participants, from the delegates, so that then we are able to further enrich what has been presented. And also when there are questions that need answers, that we will then receive answers from the presenters who have so brilliantly and in a well thought through and in a very empowering way presented to us. So may we then go that route and give the delegates an opportunity to interact with the presentations at this point. Mr. Sunday? And I will also recognize their hands if you permit.
I'm not hearing again.
Thank you, Madam Maboe. Steve McGurk from Australia. I have a question for Mr. Omapariala, please, following his presentation.
You may go ahead. And
thank you.
Yes.
So thank you for a great presentation. Very enjoyable. I've mentioned a number of times earlier this week that from Australia, we have a very tolerant society towards left-handedness, and we don't face many of the obstacles or the stigmatizations that take place against left-handers that you face in Africa. you touched on it very nicely today. Thank you. And you also talked there at one stage regarding religion, or the influence that religion has on culture and so I guess societal practice, and that religion needs to look to be more inclusive and accepting of the left-hander. How do you see that changing? I myself am Catholic, so we have Rome that will set the rules, and we Catholics follow. In other Christian societies and in other religions as well, it's far less centralized as to where instruction comes from. And so I'm keen to understand how we might be able to start the conversation to initiate some of that change.
Thank you very much, Steve, for that very thought-provoking and I would say a challenging question for all of us. Is there any response we could receive from you, sir? And I believe that if there's any other person on the platform equally who would be able to give input to that one, you are most welcome. But I'm giving the opportunity to Mr. Omo Bariola now to respond on this question. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Steve, for that thought-provoking question. Well, from our own perspective here in Africa, and then of course Nigeria in particular, we regard the left-handed syndrome as it is not really common. It exists, but it's not yet very common. Thankfully, individuals like Dr. Sunday are coming out now to raise the awareness about the struggles some of the left-handed individuals face in the society, particularly how there's no conscious effort in designing tools they can use. They are not given that particular representation or consideration. And that is why we are keen to also add our voice to the advocacy, believing that it is only through awareness raising that some of the ordeals faced by left-handed persons can be addressed. So talking about the religious approach, we believe that here in this part of the world, religion is held in very high esteem, and then a lot of congregants or worshippers take their religious leaders very seriously. Whatever their views, whatever their opinions, they can easily impress it upon their followers or their congregants. And so that was why we said religious leaders, we're also calling on religious leaders to use their privileged positions and opportunity to further this message, to deepen this awareness at every opportunity possible, to let people know that left-handedness, let parents allow their children to exhibit whatever is their handedness, whether right or left. They shouldn't be compelled to use right hand, bearing in mind that these things are natural. So that was the perspective. Thank you, and over.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response. Are there any other responses specifically on to this particular question besides the response that we have received, which definitely is helpful? Or any other questions, even when they are not necessarily on the same matter or to the same presenter, because we're taking questions at this point for both presentations.
Okay, I think Dr. Ambrose is with us now. Dr. Ambrose is with us.
Thank you, Mr. Sunday. May we just conclude this session effectively?
Okay.
Let me just check if there are any other questions, and if there aren't any questions and inputs, we're definitely going straight to the presentation. May I just, I'll see by show of hands whether there are any further questions or inputs. And at this point, there aren't any hands. So you may go ahead, Mr. Sunday, to introduce the next presenter. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Mabue. I want to introduce the next speaker from Nigeria, Dr. Ambrose Anashe from the Nigerian Ministry of Education, Zonal Office, Ogoja, Cross River State. He will be speaking on the importance of inclusion of left-handers in curriculum, and the importance of bringing government into the program, because the government has to be involved. You know, the political way, just like we started from non-governmental organization, but gradually government of Nigeria is getting awareness of what we are doing and seeing what, the importance why they should have left-handers teachers and instrumental materials and instructors in schools. So let's hear from Dr. Ambrose. Dr. Ambrose and Ashe, you are welcome to the Left-Handers International Conference. We started from South Africa. We had 2 days South Africa, then we started from here. So thank you.
It's a pleasure. Good morning, all. Good morning, all. It's my pleasure to be here. My name is Dr. Ambrose Anashe, a director with the Ministry of Education, Cross River State, Ogoja, Zonal Direction in Nigerian curriculum, because everything has to do with the sum total of
we're not able to hear you because there's an echo.
And
may you use one
aspect
much
of life that comes to bring one's behavior. It's a very good, a great idea.
Mr. Sunday, can you please mute your microphone?
Inclusion has to do with the sum total of the culture. It has to be positive to ensure a great improvement, job opportunities. We have noticed with dismay in the time past that left-handers are not inclusive in Nigerian curriculum, and sometimes as a result of that, they are like segregated. The Nigerian curriculum, in particular, and Africa in general, do not be in the curriculum planning, and to ensure that they are all carried along so that there will not be people who will be jobless. We've noticed that one of the characteristics of left-handers is that they are very creative, analytic, and also they are very pushful in the society in order to keep away other vices. If they are not inclusive, they become trans and street workers who will pose more problem in the society. And so the curriculum as it is, we have some areas of discipline like fine arts and vocational courses in both the primary, secondary, and tertiary education curriculum. Left-handers are supposed to be inclusive, just like we have the albinism organization today, which has been recognized, and they give them some additional time, like during exams, they give them additional 1 hour to ensure that their sight problems do not affect their performance. Handers are not different from other human beings. They are very, very important. And even teachers who are left-handers, they are good orators. It helps to improve the oratory skills of students they teach, because as a teacher, they are epitome of excellence. And as a result of that, they are role model in the society. So there is an imperative need to ensure that these left-handers are inclusive in the Nigerian and African curriculum as a continent. So we ensure that we hope that all over the country, Nigerian per se, all over the continent as African per se, and all over the world, there will be proper recognition of these left-handers to ensure that they are not segregated again. They are carried along to bring development in the Nigerian society and the world all over. Thank you, and God bless you. Yeah, there is the Ministry of Education, trying to ensure that we carry out research to select these left-handers in all the various schools and grant them scholarship. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Dr. Anashe, thank you for that message support from the Ministry of Education, Zonal Office Ogoja. I think it is why we invited you, is that you will be a channel to carry this message to the state Ministry of Education, because we are starting from the all indication, we are starting from grassroots, and we need to see how we can carry this message to the state ministry, to the federal Ministry of Education, because we would like to have teachers who are left-handers. Because if you look at the way these children write their alphabet, their numbers, it's quite different. If you have been with us from the beginning, you are seeing some presenters who are presented in the area of teaching and learning. So please just hold on. There might be questions and contribution from your comment so that you can have a response to it. So please, any question, comment?
Hello.
There is hand up. Please just listen to it.
Okay. Can I carry on?
Kindly go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much, Dr. Ambrose Anashe, for your presentation. I noticed that Sunday had advised us that the new vice president in Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, is actually left-handed. And I wonder whether you are able to discuss with him our issue. You may be interested to know that on behalf of the Left-In group, myself and Steve McGurk, who are co-chairs, wrote to the Vice President with a letter outlining our mission, and particularly looking at the equality and outcomes. We're also keen to encourage the teaching of left-handed children to be a required part of initial teacher training, and wonder whether you have any plans in place, whether that is included or not, or how you might see things progressing in Nigeria. Thank you.
Yeah, a new democratic elected governor has just been put in place. And we are very sure that when the commissioners are appointed, the new commissioner for education will bring up some modalities to ensure proper inclusion of left-handers in the training. We are going to organize workshops in the 3 senatorial districts, like we earlier said, from the grassroots, and thereafter we'll go national to Abuja. And we are still confident and hopeful, knowing that our vice president today is a left-hander. And we hope to progress.
Okay.
Can I say that you have our full support,
and
if there's anything we can do as a group, certainly in Left-In, we'd be very happy to help.
Sorry for the presenters. Sorry for those who are inputting. Dr. Ambrose was still speaking. May we kindly give him an opportunity to conclude his statement, and then we'll go back to Mr. Mark, so that we can be able to flow effectively. May we just give Dr. Ambrose the opportunity just to conclude his statement, because it was not fully concluded. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yes, we are saying that we are all happy in the state, particularly Cross River State, Nigeria, that we have just gotten a newly democratically elected governor. But for now, nominees have just been made. They have not given them portfolio yet. It's very hopeful that by the time we know our newly appointed commissioner for education, we will move as a team to tell him some of these policies on ground, and proper orientation will be done across the 3 senatorial districts in the state. And thereafter, we'll make out modalities to see how we can move to the national level with confidence, knowing that our new vice president is a left-hander. It is hopeful that he will give us years, and that level will take it beyond the shores of the country.
Thank you very much for that comprehensive and also strengthening response, Dr. Ambrose. May we then go back to Mr. Mark, because you were saying something also.
Thank you, Madam
Okay.
Maboe. I apologize, Dr. Ambrose, if I interrupted you. That was not my intention at all. Just to say that I'm sure that I speak certainly on behalf of the members of Left-In, that you have our full support in what you're doing. And if there is anything that we can do as a group or individually to help, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mark, and definitely reinforcing input there. And of course, that is also the benefit of collaboration and all us even working together as it is now. But then back to Mr. Ambrose, and then Mr. Sunday, I'll then give back to you so that you'll be able to flow with the process again. But if there are any challenges, just indicate. I will then be able to conclude, to proceed, so that we will have all the inputs captured. Thank you so much. Dr. Ambrose, anything else from you? Then I would give back to you, Mr. Sunday. Mr. Sunday, are you
Hello.
now?
Okay. Want
The
to.
program, but there is quite a very irritating sound in the background. May that sound be muted? Everyone, thank you.
Okay. I haven't done that. I think I'm not seeing any response from the Red Cross Society, so we'll skip that because I've tried to contact them. It seems they are not ready. So we'll go to the next agenda in our program. Please just wait a minute. Just trying to.
Mr. Sunday.
Hello.
In the time when you had a technical challenge, we actually have gone through almost all the presentations that were reflecting, and of course there was an omission of Dr. Ambrose for the Ministry of Education, because that time he was not available, and we are highly appreciative that he could come on board and present to us as he did. And then with the Red Cross not being available, we might have to go back to the delegates for any other questions on or inputs for all the presentations of the day, except if at all there is any other additional ones, because we already are acknowledging that Red Cross is not available for the presentation for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And may we check with the delegates if there is anyone who has any matter they would like to raise at this point, any inputs, any acknowledgements, as we have already acknowledged and appreciated all the presentations that definitely are advancing the cause for left-handedness. They are having value propositions that will continue to benefit the cause, and even clear inputs and recommendations that will enhance this discourse that we are on as a global initiative, even when it is for this particular time and season housed on the African soil. Any inputs or questions? Otherwise, we will then give back to you, Mr. Sunday, to probably conclude the proceedings of the day.
Hello, any? We are still waiting. Any? It seems somebody is there's hand up. Okay. Miss Queen Obo, can we hear from you? At least let's hear a lady's voice.
There is a very May we mute one of the devices that is working there, because that's what's creating that echo, or other devices, except where McQueen is to speak from, so that we give him an audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you for this opportunity. Greetings to all in today's, which is day 4 of this our International Left-Handers Conference. I am Mrs. Queen Obo, the Child Protection Officer here in Nigeria. It's my pleasure being in this forum. I just want to make a simple contribution with regards to left-handers in Africa, based on the talents and challenges in Africa. These left-handers, they have these great potentials and talents in them, but most times they tend to be deprived of this opportunity because of the little percentage they have amongst the right-handed people, which we all know that these left-handers, they're just 10% of the population we have. So they tend to deprive them from showcasing this great talent deposited in them. So I want to just urge that they shouldn't be deprived from showcasing these great talents they have. Most of these left-handers, they have talents in singing. Most of them sing very well. They also exhibit special talents in games, such as football, table tennis, and in drawing. They have very good skills in drawing. Most of them draw very well using their left hand. So these are the talents they have. And I'm urging that they shouldn't be deprived because of the little population they have amongst the population in Nigeria. So they should not be deprived of this opportunity to show these great talents in them. Then I also want to refer us to our conference objective, which is to create awareness, sensitize and galvanize support for left-handers across Africa, hold a festival and showcase unique potential. As I'm talking about, they have this unique potential to showcase these unique potentials and talents of left-handers in the continent. Then, in summary, I have an advice to these our left-handers, because from what I've observed among these left-handers, at the early stage, they tend to be shy, thereby depriving them from showcasing this their left-hander, this their left hand they use. So I want to advise them, especially at the early stage, they tend to be shy, thereby not using that their preferred hand to do whatever they want to do. So I want to advise them, they should feel free. They shouldn't feel inferior among their peers. They should feel free, feel comfortable to use their preferred hand, which is their left hand. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Ms. Queen, for such a contribution, and also a reminder that there is great ability, great skills, great potential that is in left-handed people. As listening to your advice, I had to also wear another hat of what also brings it about, that you find that many left-handed, as children especially, are actually they are not necessarily shy as much as with the stigmatization and the challenges that they are confronted with coming from families, coming from society. They find themselves being put in that space that makes them to not be able to express themselves meaningfully, and at the same time to also be free. So it is also the edge that I want to still reinforce, as it has even been reinforced by other presenters, that it is important that we create a conducive environment, an environment that is empowering, starting from the family, coming into the community, regardless of all the biases and the challenges. And we really appreciate that you are ready and you are with us to bring it to bring it forth and to bring it to pass. So thank you so very much. I would like to just also check if there are any other further inputs. Whilst we appreciate all the contributions and the inputs from the delegates, as we have already done so for the presenters. When I'm checking on the platform, I'm not seeing any raised hands at this point. I would just like to check with Mr. Sunday whether there are any other inputs, because we are ready for a wrap up.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for being with us, all our participants, presenters from the one, and even with the challenges we are facing, you are able to still bear with us. Thank you so much. We are done. This is the day 4. We are hoping that tomorrow the conference will continue, and tomorrow will be the final. To appreciate all our listeners, our presenters played with you. That please, for those that, especially Dr. Ambrose, I think he's still with us, because government is the key issue in this issue of left-handers in Nigeria. You see, children spend much of their day in schools now. They have few days at home. So we want to also ask the global group to support us to see how we can approach government as a body, not only handicap ability empowerment initiative. Now we have come together as a global group, and so whenever I want to suggest that whenever we are approaching any organization, government, agency, we should approach a louder voice. In only handicap ability empowerment initiative to approach the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So on this, making an appeal that you see how we started from grassroots, from the town Ogoja. Ogoja is a bit far from the state headquarters, but we are trying to see how we can manage with what by next year. So we'll continue to keep in touch with all our presenters, speakers, and those who are indicating interest in our program. So Mrs. Mabue, I want to drop here. If possible, you have something to say from your own side. Thank you.
Thank you,
Mrs. Mabue.
Yes, I am with you, Mr. Sunday. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Mr. Sunday, am I audible? Or to the participants, so that we just have closing remarks at this point? May I go ahead?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Sunday, for anchoring the Nigeria program and the team that is in Nigeria. Just as a concluding remark, we need to continually remember that we are having the connection that flows from the first day of the 7th to the 11th of August of a Pan-African Partnership Initiative, and which is anchored on the Africa soil by African Left-Handers Foundation and Handicapped Ability Empowerment Initiative, working with our Internationl associations and international, the Global Partnership Initiative that we are with. Just to mention, but one, the Left In a team and other members who are in the left-hand environment of interaction and intervention. And we are to just remind ourselves that every day is a build up to what needs to be the final product of this very great initiative as we are celebrating left-handers in a right-handed world. And we are pushing the boundaries of equality, pushing the boundaries of possibilities. I like what McQueen ended on, where she was literally saying, let us push the boundaries of possibilities to make sure that every gift, every talent, every good quality of a left-hander should be able to be harnessed and to be used maximally from the Dr. Ambrose say from the Ministry of Education was reinforcing that they are definitely taking the bull by its horns and making sure that the issue of left-handedness are now going to be part of the integral programs and the processes in the ministry as they continue to enlighten those who are coming on board as the new elected members. And also the reinforcement that Mr. Mark, as he was commenting, that, you know, when you have a vice president who's left-handed, what more can we ask for? We need to leverage and maximize on that opportunity, and at the same time even appreciating what we were challenged with in relation to building a very strong and formidable collaboration, be it structurally, be it in interventions, be it even in the economies of scale, as we had Dr. David Okpa presenting to us, and we are definitely valuing every presentation. I'm just reinforcing the ones of today, and of course what we received also from Mr. Omopa Riola, bringing in also the international element of things from the side of Save the Children and with the UN wing to it. And we are saying that with every presentation that we have received today, we are one day richer. We are one day moving closer to making sure that left-handedness is not just understood as a minority matter. It is understood as an impactful and a matter to reckon with, even at a global level. And just in concluding, just to encourage all the participants to participate again tomorrow, and to indicate that actually we need to apologize for having reflected Red Cross Society as though they were absent. They actually are on the program for tomorrow. So we are expecting and we are hopeful that they will be available on the program for tomorrow, as we will be signing off for today from Nigeria, anchored with the South African team, as we are now showing the collaboration and the partnership with our global partners. Definitely a blessed and empowering day further for everyone across the globe. And thank you so much to Mr. Sunday that you could, in the midst of the challenges, that we could continue to anchor as a team from South Africa, because together and united we stand, but divided we fall. Thank you very much. Back to you as we conclude the proceedings of the day, Mr. Sunday.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Mabue. I want to thank you so much. I want to continue from where you stopped. We proposed this program to to be in Abuja. But for the fact that Nigeria is undergoing a transition, that is why things are like this. And you know, it has been a challenge. Like if you listen very well to Dr. Ambrose, he also made it clear that since we just started a new government, they have not elected commissioners, ministers, even the senators are still undergoing process. But since we have accepted to host this program, I said, well, challenges is part of life, and challenges brings our strength. So I was even reserving this comment for the last day to tell us why we are decided to host it in Ogoja. So I am believing that by the time the government settle, we are going to get more people, because Handicap Ability Empowerment Initiative, you can see it, we are growing every day, we're expanding. There is no organization in Cross River State, neighboring state, that we said that they don't know the activities of Handicap Ability Empowerment Initiative. So even the United Nations, they know what we do. So issue of disability or special need, we are ready. So I know by tomorrow, more people, the awareness is growing every day that there's a conference going on, and believing that tomorrow will be the most interesting day of this conference. So thank you once again, all participants, all listeners.
Sorry, Mr. Sunday, sorry for interrupting you here. Before we go off, we need to also open our videos, all of us, so that this moment can also be captured. So may we all kindly open our videos, because I realize that when you say thank you very much, everyone will be off the platform immediately. So sorry for that interruption. I'm encouraging everyone to open our videos. I'm seeing a number of videos opening. So may we also have the other videos opening, so that we are able to capture everyone on the video. But then a number. Yes, I see more videos opening. Thank you very much. We appreciate your opening those videos. And we encourage everyone to come ready, as it will be the final day tomorrow, to come ready and not dressed in pajamas, so that you may open your videos. Thank you very much. Mr. Sunday, then you may close the proceedings of today. Thank you so much. Mr. Sunday, you are not audible. You might have muted your mic. Kindly open your mic, so that you will be able to have us all be well dismissed for today. Thank you. You may go ahead and conclude.
Okay. So want to call it a day. Thank you so much. I want to close the conference for today. We wish you well as you are going, and we're expecting that tomorrow you come early. So thank you for participating. Thank you for being with us. At this junction, I want to say we have come to the end of today's conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. though they are